Gary Chimes from Lake Washington Sports and Spine, and I want to talk about why the humble tomato may be your best tool for doing exercise at work. One of the common things that happens with patients that I see is often they need to do certain exercises, and often they have to do it several times a day to improve their musculoskeletal condition, whether it's related to their knee or their shoulder or their back or to their neck or whatever condition it is. And for a lot of patients, that's really hard because they're thinking, how am I possibly going to fit all that into my day? And so they have this dual barrier of workplace productivity and making sure they get the exercise that they need. So I think what's really helpful is something that I call the modified Pomodoro Technique. So Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato, and there's a timer that people often use in kitchens called a Pomodoro timer. And so there was an efficiency expert who came up with the idea called the Pomodoro Technique. And the idea behind that is, I'm going to first explain in the context of just workplace productivity, and then second we'll talk about the modified Pomodoro Technique, which is talking about how you can use this for exercise. So the idea behind the Pomodoro Technique is the recognition that people are less productive when they multitask, when they're really task shifting, going back and forth between different tasks, where they can actually have a productivity drop of about 40%. So the idea behind the Pomodoro Technique is to get people to work on one task well and then take a break. So the idea with the Pomodoro Technique is you set a timer to about 25 minutes, and then you set it and you work on one task at a time. Now the second key component of the Pomodoro Technique is after those 25 minutes is you take a break to let your mind free up and do something else. Now what's really nice about this technique is that by being really focused on one thing for 25 minutes, that means no Facebook, no email, no shifting to other projects, you get the bulk of the work done in those 25 minutes. Because we find that when people spend 2 hours on something, it's really those first 25 minutes that make the biggest difference. But the second part is by giving your mind a break for about 5 minutes, allows it whenever you shift onto the next task, you're going to be more effective. And this works perfectly for people who need to do regular exercise. So whether it's a situation where you need to do a postural exercise for 2 minutes, or you need to stretch your calves for 2 minutes, or whatever the exercise is, that fits perfectly into the modified Pomodoro Technique. And basically in that 5-minute break that you're going to be taking between your 25 minutes of productivity, that's the perfect time to exercise. So we're hoping that when it comes to exercise, the tomato is your friend. And this is again Gary Chimes from Lake Washington Sports and Spine.